money, fame, hit records. It's the dream of every would-be rock star in America. But for one band out of the greater Cincinnati region, those prizes would remain elusive and perhaps unwanted, but probably just elusive. This is the story of the tumultuous rise and subsequent struggle of Cincinnati's power pop band, Screaming Mimes. The mid-90s. Britney Spears is still a wide-eyed mouseketeer with no knowledge of her incredible potential. The Banks was just an unrealized dream in City Council's eyes. And the chance meeting of three like-minded individuals would start a musical revolution.
I wanted to start a band. I had thousands and thousands of excellent songs, and I wanted to perform them out with a couple of like-minded individuals. So, the first two guys I found, I worked with Randy and Preston, and had to teach them everything. And so, yeah, I formed Duck Butter.
I'd met a woman that I truly wanted to impress, and I had talked Dave and Preston into getting together, and we did a gig together for her 40th birthday party.
People kept asking me, are you in a band? Because I had, the hair and the ponytail and all that. And I kept having to say no. I'm not in a band. And finally I was like, I gotta form a band, because this is crazy, telling people, no, I'm not a band when I have rock and roll hair.
Despite its confusing and contradictory origins, Duck Butter went on to raise the roof at small bars for a few short months with their mix of a few originals and lots of obscure covers.
I'm up there on stage, I've got the audience in the palm of my hands, I'm playing my stuff, and then Randy and Preston jump on and the energy just goes flatline. Everybody started at Cakes, and we had to cut our teeth there.
By the time we got to Cakes on Broadway, I think I cried all the way home.
Oh, that place is a crap hole.
It was horrible. There was no stage. Everybody was more interested in playing video poker than the band.
It was, basically us and a couple winos, and then outside you could pee in the alley.
But I couldn't wait to get up to the bigger venues like Head First or Thank God It's Fridays.
But even with those promising beginnings, Duck Butter's future was as short-lived as its name was sucky. The three mates decided to go electric and added drummer Jim Farmer.
My old band, Scare City, goth country act, played maybe one or two shows with Duck Butter at one point, and I thought they were pretty good, I thought that I could add a lot more to the band if they added a drummer.
I hadn't played electric guitar in a long time. I'd been doing my, emo, acoustic, punk, rockabilly thing for so long, and to plug in was really exciting. I couldn't quite control my guitar amps, but it was still a lot of fun.
We were acoustic, which is, kind of a soft music that everybody can hear, and we needed something that maybe drowned out the music a little bit, a drummer.
You're always thinking about that chemistry within the band. The three of us had that. Where were we going to find that fourth that would fit in?
We got some strange calls, and the strangest of them all was a guy named Jim Farmer. This long-haired political hippie freak who could hold a beat. He knew Beatles songs. Hey, play that 4/4 beat that Ringo did on this song, and he could kind of handle that. So he was a compromise, but he was in.
They needed me. They really needed somebody to get this band going, because, just between you and I, they weren't all that good.
Screaming Mimes was born. Right off the bat, Farmer became a problem.
I was in it for the money, and that was it. I just wanted to find a band that could make it and make me a lot of money. I could care less about the quality of the music.
I hated Jim from the get-go. I just couldn't stand him at all. He and I just were like, two opposites that didn't attract at all. We butted heads all the time, argued all the time. But, he could play the drums. So, I'd look past the fact that he's a total moron.
Well, they had no sex appeal, trust me. Well, Randy, but the other guys, no. I felt that I could add a lot to that department of the band.
I guess maybe looking back on it, I could have been maybe a little bit put off by the fact that, maybe somebody can come in and maybe their appearance is better than mine. And I saw his receding hairline, and I thought, well, I think we'll be okay.
Things Things were going smooth. I mean, the guys were playing my songs the way I wanted them to be played. But then Jim started standing up and talking during rehearsals and saying, I've got an idea for some music. And okay, I'll indulge this fantasy for a few minutes.
I felt that the best thing for the band was to do my songs. I came right in the band and I told them that. If you guys want to go far, you need to do my songs.
It was drum and fife stuff. Who wants to hear that kind of music? Nobody wants to hear that kind of music. It was terrible.
That music to me is like 4 dead cats being swung around my head. And it makes me want to go out and shoot somebody.
It's something about Barney Fife and drums. I didn't understand what he was talking about at that time, but come to find out, it had something to do with the Civil War. I thought Barney was on Andy Griffith's show, but it seems he was a flute player.
They apparently didn't like that, so after that, I was gone.
With Farmer off pursuing his bizarre music tendencies, the Mimes auditioned a series of drummers and landed on Tom Jansing.
When Tom tried out, I knew right away I felt a bond with him because, again, his outlook was the same as mine, that the equipment made the player. It's not how you play it, it's how you look.
Tom Jansing was incredible. It was like Neil Peart and John Bonham and that guy from The Who, the Moon guy, all rolled into one and multiplied by 1,000. It was incredible. And his kit reflected that. I think he had all of those players' kits combined across the stage. It was amazing.
He was pretty good, but not as good as me.
Screaming Mimes began a grueling touring schedule of Cincinnati and northern Kentucky, playing upwards of 1 show a month to hone their new material and develop their unique sound. But just as their fan base grew in immeasurable increments, Jansing quit.
Tom quitting was a blow. It was like it stung like a bee. You know, George Foster, or.
The rest of us really couldn't lift his boxes with all his equipment in it anymore, so he really had to move on.
I tried to write songs that were good enough for Tom, and I just couldn't. Tom was destined for great things, beyond Screaming Mimes.
We will find something to come in and take Tom's place. It would probably be a step down, but I think we were at the point where we were willing to be patient with the new person coming in.
We actually ended up with what I think is one of the great drummers of the 20th century, and that's Randy's son, Matt.
I've known Matt for a long time.
The opportunity to play with these guys, I had to take it. Because growing up, I looked at Dave like he was George Bush, you know? He was just like up here and I'm down here, and to be able to be in the same room, in the same basement and play music with him, I mean, I have nothing else to live for, you know?
Man, that was a disaster. I mean, he couldn't hold down a beat. It was like having 2 Randys, except one was even younger and more obnoxious.
And as a father, you know, you would think that, you know, one day, maybe just one day, you get that opportunity to play with your son or daughter on stage.
It was great. It was magical, you know? It was something that you can't ever explain to anyone, and I just hope I have a boy, you know? Because girls can't play music. We all know that.
What are you doing?
I was just playing the song. Right?
What part were you playing? Was it the song we were playing?
Dave said I could have a solo.
No. When did this come up?
We were just talking
No,
about
don't
it,
tell. No,
Dad.
Don't tell me it was an accident, because you were the accident, man.
What are you?
I'm saying the condom broke. Gee.